Right, I want to introduce you to my new best friend, Frankie. It's a guitar that I've owned for about 5 years. It was the kind of cheapest guitar I could find. I paid 35 quid for it. It's an Antoria Acoustic, and I bought it to take on a long camping trip. I didn't want to take any of my decent guitars away with me, so I bought this guitar especially for that, because I needed something that it didn't matter if it got busted or broken or stolen or whatever, you know, or trashed by an airline company or something. And then when I come back to the UK, it just sat in the corner of the studio just gathering dust, and you know, I've been lending it to students and all that kind of stuff. So she never really had a purpose. She was just sitting there doing nothing really, you know. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking for something in my cupboard, and I came across a box, and in it was this DiMarzio pickup and the pot, and they were actually on my first electric guitar, which was a Westbury standard. And what I did was I removed the neck pickup. This is her. I removed the neck pickup from it, and my mate filled the hole and resprayed it for me, so I had more of a kind of like punky looking guitar. She's metallic purple, and kept the bridge pickup. So the neck pickup just kind of got slung in a box and forgotten, and I completely forgot I even had it, you know, until I found it last week. And I thought, it's such a good pickup, and I really ought to do something with it. And then I clocked the Antoria sitting in a corner, kind of like covered in dust and stuff, and I thought, well, I wonder if I should, like, maybe I'll just screw it to that and see what happens. So we had a guy who comes in the shop and does repair work for us called Gordy B, and he's a bit of a character, and I said to him, you know, I wanted to fit this. Would he wire up the pops for me? And he said, just give me the guitar. He thought the idea was so nuts. He said, I want to do it myself, you know. So he took the guitar away, and he's done some pretty good work on it for me. We've now got under here, if you can just sort of see it, he's put a hardwood glued in, proper with, you know, proper kind of like, you know, that animal glue stuff they use. Proper hardwood brace has gone in here, and it's been routed so that the pickup is actually like really fitted really firmly into there. And he drilled the holes, cleaned the pots, took all the old capacitors and things and that were on there that weren't needed anymore, and you know, wired in a jack socket for me. And then he called me at the beginning of the week and said you might want to come and pick this guitar up, and he's only quite excited. So I went to pick it up, and we thought, well, seeing as it's got like a electric magnetic guitar pickup on it, then maybe I'll put like electric guitar strings on it. And you know, just if you're going to do something stupid, then be really stupid. So that's what we did. So at the moment, it's got standard off-the-shelf Rotor Sound 10s, with the exception of I've had to put a wound G on it at the moment, because I need to get a new nut cut for this end, because the nuts obviously like sort of cut for thicker acoustic guitar strings, and they all kind of work alright except the G. The plain G just didn't ring very well, so I've got a wound G on it at the moment. And as an acoustic guitar, it's actually quite an interesting sound, because it's because the strings are very light. They're quite sort of, it's almost got that kind of jangly kind of tone to it, you know, and it's quite a unique sound compared to my other acoustics that I've got. So it's quite almost kind of like quite kind of mellow on the bottom end, but very bright on the top end, you know. So it was worth doing it just for that, really, you know. It actually given me a completely different acoustic guitar sound. Plus, also, it means that with the Roto, because it's got 10 gauge electric guitar strings on it, it means that I can use it as a guitar for playing lead and stuff on, you know. So if I'm jamming with the guys, and you know, we're all playing acoustics and stuff, it means that now I can play kind of the lead stuff that I normally would do on the electric guitar and the acoustic guitar without breaking my fingers and that. So you know, it's easy to get those kind of string bends, you know. So all that kind of stuff. So it's you know, can without it hurting, you know. So it worked quite well for that. Now when you kind of wind the pickup up, you kind of becomes a completely different animal, kind of winding in the pickup now. I don't know whether you'll get it very well over the video, but she's almost got this kind of almost vintage arch top kind of sound going on. So it's really nice. You kind of, if you pick it with your fingers or strum it with your thumb, get that kind of thing going on. So she's got that kind of nice, kind of almost like a jazzy, bluesy kind of tone, you know, as long as you don't attack her too hard. You know, if you want that real kind of, you know, real kind of old kind of vintage bassy sort of tone, just wind the tone off and so really kind of nice, kind of mellow kind of thing going on there. But it's the DiMarzio humbucker, you know, it was designed and built sort of in the early 80s and stuff. So if I want the guitar to have some kind of attack and stuff, she works really, really well. She's got like loads of that, lots of nice bitey top end. Now, I've got this plugged into this little Marshall MG15 here. It's, you know, not a very spectacular amp. It's a little practice amp that the students use. It's on the clean channel. The EQ is dead flat. There's no reverb on it or anything, you know. So there's nothing really amazing going on over there. So, but start hitting the guitar like that, you get that kind of proper, you know, bright, natural kind of overdrive sort of sound and that. So she's really turned into, like, gone from being kind of sitting in the corner doing nothing into almost like kind of, you know, 3-4 different types of guitar now. You know, I've got an acoustic guitar that I can play lead on. She's for recording and stuff, she's got a totally unique sound acoustically. You know, if we were playing those kind of like, get that nice kind of jangly thing going on. So I've got a, you know, a guitar that I can use for 2 different things there, you know. Obviously Gordy's done a bit of a setup on it for me as well, so it's, you know, it plays nice. All the frets have been kind of dressed and that, and then of course with the pickup, winding the pickup in, you know, it's given me almost like a jazz guitar, you know, like not that I'm a jazz player, of course, but it's given me a kind of jazz guitar as well, with you know, quite varying kind of degree on the tone, you know. So it, you know, she's mellow and bright, and she's hard and fast, you know. So yeah, really turned into a great little guitar. I'm so glad I did it. I'm sure I'm going to use her on loads and loads of stuff now. So there she is anyway. Frankie, my acoustic electric guitar. Thank you.